We might want to check this out.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Warsat Radio, episode 16. We're old enough to drive. We're happy to be back. And this is your host, Cobra, joined always by my friend, my co-host, Eclipse. Say what's up, man.
On?
That's right. So, if you listened last week, you realize there's nothing there.
How can they listen if nothing's there?
That's what I'm saying. You know what happened? I didn't save my side of this file. And I'm a dummy. So, what happened was we recorded this whole hour and 20-minute show. It was getting late, and I noticed towards the end of the show I was kind of slurring and not understanding what was happening.
Getting tired.
And I guess I was doing something in the background. Once we were finally finished, I remember typing. We always type the date and our name, then I combine the files in Audacity, and we go. And I remember doing that, but I can't find that file anywhere. So that's why we weren't here. We're getting bad about just not being consistent.
Yeah. We might end up putting up a lost episode one week.
If I find it.
If you ever find it.
I said to you, I think it might be interesting just to put your side up so you can have a conversation by yourself. People might have a kick out of that.
Yeah.
But, so, we apologize, and I know we're not being consistent. We're going to try. We're at this coming Black Friday, which is only 5 weeks away, the time of this podcast. We're going to look for some more equipment and maybe do some updates. I'm still looking for some music to get ourselves kind of a theme. And we'll continue to go. We're not going away. We're just going to be slow getting there.
Still growing.
But, yeah, still growing. We know we're the bottom feeders of this Destiny podcast world, but we know there's some guys out there who like listening to us, and we appreciate everybody from Australia to New Orleans to Texas to all the states. We see where you're coming from.
To KC.
So where should we start? A story we came across on Kotaku. If anyone's came across it, described where Destiny came from and how it became what it is now. Became. That's a new word.
No. Became the game. That's what you were combining there.
Okay. Well, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Pretty much discussed how we all knew the story was thin. We all knew the story was confusing and all left in the grimoire, and how it became just this story lacking but still fun game. But someone, Kotaku, finally tracked this story for about 13 months, they said, and they gave descriptions from 6 unnamed Destiny developers or people who work for Bungie about how it became that way. And it's pretty interesting. Did you read that article at all?
Yes, I did. Very long, but very, very interesting to read.
And very intricate, too.
Yes.
Things such as Rasputin was actually an exo that we were supposed to rescue from the Dreadnought. Do you remember whenever the first DLC came out, people were mad. They were taking things from the game that were originally there and then selling it to us?
Yeah, I remember that.
Kind of that same situation.
Well, here we go. Now they're saying that the Dreadnought was supposed to be in vanilla Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
And yet we get it a full year later as an expansion. But, I know a lot of things gets cut from the game. It's they can't make 100% what they promise every single time because of time restraints. Stuff
right.
You run out of time and shit like that, and just can't meet deadlines on 100% of everything every time.
Got budgets to deal with.
Yeah, and what we got for a lot of people was a damn good game.
Right.
Even, in all its faults that it did have, because, we all agree that it does, but it still hooked a lot of people.
It certainly did. So even in its backwards, just incoherent state, they had something there.
Yeah. And that's what I was sitting there trying to imagine, they're sitting here describing, what did they call it, the super score or whatever. Supercut.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here trying to describe what this supercut would actually be like, and I can't imagine what it would have been like if that would have made it into development.
I know. Supercut, just for if you guys haven't seen it, was a little trailer, if you will, a little video to show where the progress was so far, and then tell the story, the narrative of what the game was supposed to be, and that's kind of shown to not investors, but shown to the people who were approving the game to see what they've got so far and kind of build the skeleton of
Right.
the story.
Right.
So
And
they refer
for
to that a
some
lot.
reason, they didn't like it. They didn't like what they seen, but
They didn't want a linear story. They
Yeah.
wanted the sandbox to choose your own adventure, if you will.
which I think that might have, that might be what hooked a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people don't like that, but I think a lot of people do at the same time, or maybe that's what made Destiny what it is.
Exactly.
Today.
I was going to say it changed it to set it out on its own instead of just another story you play
Right.
through. One thing that they mentioned was how I think you visited all 4 planets,
Very
Moon, Venus,
early.
Mars,
Yeah.
or Earth in the first 4 missions, and at the end of every mission there was a 3 to 5 minute cutscene. How much footage did they cut out that we'll never see?
Oh, I know. Or will we get it over the course of 10 years?
That's true. But the way they've talked about this, now we're going to post the link into our show notes. So if you're interested, take a look at our show notes, and you'll see the link to I can't say this, to Kotaku's story, and you can read it for yourself. But definitely set aside some time and read this because it's interesting if you're interested in the lore and what was. It's a lot of not personal, but character changes, and different names become someone else and personalities become other stuff, but definitely an interesting read, and I've been wanting to do a story like this for the show where it came from, but this definitely just puts it all in one bag and read it on your free time. But anything that you saw that you want to comment about that story, we just want to bring it up to say it's out there.
Yeah, no, just bring it up. I mean, it was interesting to read because a lot of that, I think you followed it a lot more. I don't know if you followed it during the early development of it. I know there was a guy at work that did, and he was all about Destiny. I mean, before it come out. No, this was before it was all his. He was riding the hype train from 13 on to release, and shortly after release. But he never went anywhere with it. I think he maxed out at 14 or 15 and just ended up buying it for both consoles and never. I mean, he tried to play. I think he played with us one time.
That's true.
And
this is Dizzers
and never and hated. Yeah, this is Dizzers and hated it. I mean, I don't know why he hated it. He never even got past the story into where Destiny starts to shine, which is the end game.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you get most of your playtime at. The playtime doesn't come from the story. The playtime comes from, in year 1, that chase from 20 to, 30 or 32 or 34, depending on what part of the year you're in.
That's typical for him, though. I remember he was so excited for Blink. 2-year-old game, 3-year-old game at this point. I was still working with you. So however long it's been. Oh man.
Blink.
But he does it with every game. I think it was called Blink. And he got it and he was just so sad. He was so distraught. It's like, I think that's just typical for him. I don't know what games he gets excited with and stays with. Right. He talks about so many.
Battlefield 4 he stayed with for a long time, but I say long time, but he hasn't put that he's put a lot of hours into it and he plays a lot. But I think he plays a lot of games a lot.
Yeah.
Because I think he's only got 400 hours ish in Battlefield 4, which just sounds like a lot, but when compared to what we've been doing, in Destiny, it's that's a casual.
It is. You don't get paid off in Destiny. You don't get your payoff in Destiny until you put some time into it.
Yes.
And you can be fully absorbed and listen to podcasts like this and read every bit of news and be involved. That's when you get
be part of the community. That's where you start. That's where you start to know that you're really into that game and you're getting, you're getting what you paid for.
Right. I'm going to make a shirt with the Destiny logo that says "Casuals don't understand," because you don't. But check out that story. We'll have the link in the show notes here. Very interesting if you're into what might have been or what was. Did I mention I got a new mic?
Not on the show. You haven't.
Or I think I did. Had I saved the file, I think I might have talked about it last week. But this is interesting. I'm bringing this up because I saw this receipt here. I went to buy a new mic because mine was crushed. Saw one on the shelf at Walmart for $8.84. Remember the story I told you about that? And got it to the register. They said that's actually $34. I said, that says $8.84. Go check that out. Lady came back and she sighed. Yeah, it's in the wrong place. I got to give it to you for that. My wife came in here the other day. She's like, you still paid full price for that mic? I'm like, no, I did not. And she showed me the receipt. And I'm like, dang, I did. And I started looking. I'm like, whoa. They put it on there twice. Then they took it off twice. So I didn't pay anything for it.
So
I paid nothing for this mic. They gave it to me.
So you must have bought other things during this process.
I bought eggs.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know what else.
So how much did you walk out of Walmart spending?
Like $21 for eggs and something else. They did not charge me for this at all.
They charged you for that, Mike.
It's not on there at all.
I know it ain't on there, but you ain't gonna spend $21 on eggs and one other item.
I don't know what it was though. I swear it was something for my wife. Anyway, we have some Bobo mics going on compared to some of these real deal podcasting mics, but that's what we're looking to get coming up this holiday season. Come up. One thing we noticed if I don't know what other guys use whenever they podcast, since we have a mic headset combo, I think our speakers are being picked up in our own mics, which we're trying to clear that up, but just a little thing here. I was going to tell you I didn't pay anything for this headset, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll give it to you. That's kind of cool. That's pretty. It's one of those deals you wish you can find every time, but
that's true. Speaking of deals, there's something that we need to talk about.
What we need to talk about?
Should I jump into Eververse right now?
I think it's a deal.
Out? You do. I don't.
I think it's a deal. You don't. Yes.
Before we get there, we're going to talk about Iron Banner.
Yeah, we talked about some banana.
Were we going to talk about the buff?
The buff is strong. The buff is really strong. I
told the buff we mentioned him last week, but it didn't get saved.
Yeah, we're talking about the effing monkey. Somebody we've played Iron Banner with before that we actually now I'm trying to make it a every time Iron Banner comes around, this is a necessity for him to be in this party with me because he has earned the nickname of the buff.
The buff.
Because I do a lot better when he's here. And I
noticed that. We were late to the banner game.
We were.
And we typically just have 3 people to play with whenever Triple D is not being D'd. Disgruntled.
Or disconnected.
That's so bad. He was getting...
Devin the disconnected Destiny player.
I love it. I can't wait till he hears that. Don't tell him we said that.
Okay.
Oh, gosh. We tried to play last night, trying to do the story mission. And poor Triple D, Baboon, Vulture, Falcon, Pterodactyl, Brontosaurus meat, everything.
Yeah, he couldn't even log in yesterday. It was pretty bad.
I've
never seen it that bad for him. He gets disconnected more than anybody I've ever seen, and I swear it is a simple fact of wireless interference in that house. Because there is just so many wireless things in that house,
all the latest toys.
I think they just don't cross over and play well together.
And
I think that's his problem. I think that's a lot of his problem.
I got a lot of interference on my Turtle Beaches this past couple days. Something's going on where it's just like, and I can only hardly hear you.
Yeah.
So if he had headsets too, I'd hate to hear
Well,
that.
I know he doesn't have headsets because he uses wired in the controller. I know that, but it's the Bluetooth speakers in the house and the phone. Every single phone with Bluetooth and Wi-Fi and the extender. Yeah, the extender's on and the cell phone receiver plug in the wall to make cell phone signal better, and all kinds of stuff that just cause it. I think it just wreaks havoc. Now, and the weird thing is, it's only Destiny that he's affected on.
I used to hear those stories of people really hating the game because they couldn't stay connected, and I thought that was just small issues. But now that knowing somebody has it, I know his house is a wireless trap.
Yes,
but
it is.
I'd love to see what's wrong.
a Faraday cage in there. I'm sure. I mean, wireless just don't get out. But yeah, I mean, he had the worst time last night just trying to get in and do the Paradox mission with us.
Mm-hmm. Well, poor Devin.
Yep.
Banner. We noticed. We'd like to get sidetracked. We're just here to chat, and we certainly do that. I noticed playing with a group is a totally different game than playing with just two people in pickups.
Playing with six, and not just a group, but playing with 6 people. Because that made a huge difference with everybody communicating. And I know we've had 6 before. Like, we've rolled in with 6, but not like this. I think it was Friday night when we did that. Not like that Friday. I mean, we just dominated any game we got in, we dominated.
And the rule of thumb now is if you guys are just casual PvPers like we are, and you really haven't gone to LFG for a group who's going to be dedicated to play PvP, do it now.
Yeah.
You will enjoy. I hate PvP when I die, which is every time I play, and I'm like, I hate trials because I get whooped. If I'd find a group like this, I was having a great time because get rewarded. You get rewarded.
Oh, yeah.
I remember you were texting me, you and I guess Devin and yourself, and Monkey was in there. And you're like, we're killing everything, and 10.0 KD ratios. And I was like,
and that was before. And that was before we were even. That was before we were even a full group. We were just. I think it was just us 3 in there, 3 or 4 people in there.
The buff was activated.
The buff was activated.
Thank you, Monkey, for helping Eclipse here continue to roll through. Or as Luke Smith says, what did he say in that Planet Destiny interview? Just slay. And he didn't say just slay. Do you remember that?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't.
He had a word he was saying. Just go in there and slay. I laughed at that. But anyway, when I got in there, I was getting like 8.0 KD ratios.
Yeah, your KDs were really high.
And that's just rare.
But you were also playing back too.
Mm-hmm. I'm a defender at heart.
Yeah, and I'm a run and gun for the most part. I like to run and gun and be up all the action.
Mm-hmm. I like to get people going. Yeah, I like to catch you blindsided going towards the action, and I get you moving, or I like to stop you before you get to my flag because that's my flag. You don't take my flag. Anyway, so that's definitely just go find a group and get used to playing with them, and you will have a great time if you're not already doing it. And I say that because we're just casual. We're just now discovering this kind of thing.
Yeah.
But Iron Banner was fun. The rewards, were they worth it?
No. Well, hold on. Are you talking about are the rewards that I bought worth it, or are the rewards that dropped for me worth it?
Well, what did you drop? I don't know.
Class item. No. Boots was the only thing. Boots were the only thing that dropped for me. I had to purchase my class item, I had to purchase the sidearm, and I had to purchase the pulse rifle, which I probably would have purchased anyways, just because the roll it came with was that worth it.
That's what I heard, and I was really going for the sidearm or the pulse rifle. But I like sidearms just because they're pretty much Glocks, and they fire real fast. But snipers are more important in certain things of the game, so I figured I was going to go in and just get the 2 guns. And seeing those boots and the rest of the armor they'll be dropping at 280, what am I going to do with those? I don't really want to put a lot of time infusing them with other things that are more important. So I was kind of not disgruntled. I'm not Triple D. I was just disappointed that 280.
Well, here's what I did. I think my Iron Banner boots are 297s. Just because I had a couple of really high light level boots that just didn't, I just didn't have to. I didn't have any need to keep on to because I got a set of 310 raid boots. So, I mean, I was just like, well, I'm going to try to... I would like a full set of Iron Banner armor. Just because. That's the simple fact of it. Just because.
That's what happened with me last time.
Yeah. So, I'm kind of glad they dropped for me because I don't think I would have bought them if they did not drop. Just because the simple fact of it's hard to get legendary marks. You know, enough to buy what we needed to buy.
Do you think it's hard to get them?
In the short amount of time that I would have had to get them, yes.
No. Now, if you do everything, all the dailies, I think you
all
can
the
rack up
dailies,
a
yes.
great.
But the thing was, I went into that week with 200 marks, or just shy of 200 marks. So my bounties put me up over 200 marks. I had to sit on one bounty so I didn't cash it in and waste it. So I mean, I was stacked full and ready to go, but when you look at one gun is 90, the other one's 90, boots are 40, and the mark is 40, and that's just one character. If you're going to try to run multiple characters to get at least a class item or marks or
Now that I see.
or armor, you can't do it like you could with Glimmer.
Now that I see, yes.
And they promised us that the drop rate was supposed to be better, but that drop rate was shit. It was
Really?
horrible. Yes.
I got nothing. Devin got 3 items.
Yeah.
You got 1.
I got 1. Yeah, I think I got 1.
You know, just the fact of simply giving it to us as a reward, a random reward, I think that's great.
Well, I mean,
if I get
got
one thing for free, that's great.
But I got let's see, what did I get last time? I got last year's year 1 pulse rifle on drop.
Score's Revenge?
Timmer's Lash on drop. God, I can't remember what I had. The Scout Rifle on drop.
This past week?
No.
Okay.
Last year.
I was like, what?
You know,
Okay.
the couple times we played Iron Banner.
Oh, yeah. I see what you mean. I got a ton of stuff still sitting in my vault.
The drops last time were a lot better than they are this time.
Crasher, Matador, yeah.
Yeah, so, and that's what I think they just, for some reason, it screwed with the drops and it just didn't do good. If they come out and specifically said they want the drops to be your primary source of obtaining this gear. And if you don't get it, you have that option to go buy it. But yet, the primary source from what everybody on Reddit was talking about and, from us, we had to go buy it. Our primary source was not drops, not one bit.
Not me. That's true. I don't remember getting anything that's keepable. I got nothing that was keepable. Maybe a purple class item that I just dismantled and said, it's purple. That's all. One thing I was going to bring up too, okay, so that 280 that 280 roll that the armor's got made me start thinking about how, man, I've got all these items I need to do something with to boost up to get my light higher because we're all, still searching for light, even though we're in the 300s now.
Yeah.
Try to get that hard mode ready,
Yep.
Everyone was complaining about how Ascendant materials were a pain in the butt to go get, and you're playing the raid just for materials, and you only get 2 or 1. You need, 20 some, whenever you used to go all the way through the old way, the year 1 way.
Right.
I'm not getting enough higher attack level or defense level items to be putting into my weapons I want to grow and ascend or infuse.
Right.
So I'm running into the same situation. I like you chase different weapons and you're trying to find something higher, but the same situation is happening where you're running short. You don't have anything to do, so you're still waiting.
Yeah, but it's a much
better.
It's a much better way of doing the same thing.
They cause the problem. They keep the problem, but maybe make it a little more.
It's a much less frustrating way of doing it.
Well, I'm sitting here with 8 weapons, 4 primary. Well, probably 12. Some primary and some special, and I've got maybe I get 1 level or not light level, 1 attack level higher. Say I'm sitting at 296 with my Susanoo. And I can't.
Susanoo?
That's the fusion rifle that the Warlock's got for the.
Okay. Yeah.
It changes the elemental depending on whatever your subclass is.
Yeah.
So I would like to get that above 296, 297, but here comes a 300. I'd like to put that into an exotic instead. And I'm only getting a couple of those, and I haven't raised my light level or attack level on my weapons in a while because I don't get much higher the drops.
Maybe not even a theory. Here's my process. Exotics are nice. but I would rather have my purples higher and carry on very few exotics in the beginning. So, like,
I agree, because I'm sitting on a lot of yellow items that I use less.
We know the raid. It's, the guns you need for the raid. Whatever primary you want to use, that's the highest thing you can use. The scout rifle is a beast. The pulse rifle from the raid is a beast. Whatever you're using, as long as it's high enough, it's going to work. Black Spindle for War Priest and Golgoroth. Whatever heavy, I tend to use a sword, just because I can clear ads with a sword quicker than I can do anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you get into the Daughters phase and Daughters and Orcs, you're using Touch of Malice after you get it.
If you have it.
After you get it, because it's very easy to get. After you get it, that's what you're using, because you cannot outperform that gun, even if it drops your light level a little bit.
It's the new you can't join unless you have Galahorn.
Not really. They're not.
Well,
I mean, it's more helpful to have if you've only got a couple people. If you've got one other person in there, then yes, try to pick up somebody with a Touch of Malice. It makes it easier.
It certainly does.
But it's not a necessity. We all had to run it. That first time we ran it. Yeah, that first time we ran it, we didn't have it, and I don't think anybody in the game had it. I could be mistaken, but then again, we didn't beat it the first time. So, but everybody has to run it without it once.
Right. I didn't mean to swerve us on that situation, but
yeah,
back to the upgrade.
But that's what I'm saying. So I will work on purples, because I can interchange purples out with those 2 exotics that I know I'm going to run during that raid.
Mm-hmm.
And I would rather pull up purples than pull up exotics. So if you get a 300 level drop and you've got your sniper's up high enough. See, that's why we kind of talked about it before, and you've got your sniper's up to what, 308?
Yep, 308.
So I mean, you kind of, anything you get below that, you can put into your Black Spindle you got, and just kind of slowly carry it up if you don't want to put it into that fusion rifle. I just don't see you using that fusion rifle very often.
No, well, I think Nightfall burns, which may or may not come. But here's my whole thought. Okay, I did the 3 of coins trick, and I got a ton of exotics to use. And I'd like to have them up. One, because that collector in me, which I'm not much of one anymore, wants everything with the yellow bar around it. That doesn't really work that way these days.
Right.
But fully maxed out, as high as you can. But I want to do it with everything. And I just say exotics because I've got a couple 310s drop.
Yep.
Or Hawkmoon's double proc deal, where I would like to get that up just in case. I know I've got the exotic.
Even more so, if you're getting 310 exotic drops, then why are you infusing stuff into exotics?
Well, you never know what you're going to get. I might not have anything.
Yeah.
It's a balance you're playing, and that's where I'm having trouble. I'll get something, and I don't want to mess up and put it into something else. But the legendaries are carrying me farther. I don't know if anyone else is having that they're noticing that too. Probably what people are doing, using the exotic sword, or maybe your spindle.
That's what I tend to run around with my exotic sword all the time.
Mm-hmm. It's great in a pinch. The sword is, but that terminus, man.
Hey, guess what?
Did you get one?
I got one. It's only 300 though.
I think you'll like it. That's a fun gun.
It's only 300, which kind of sucks, but it works for the end of the raid for me, because I'm not running a sword when I'm running Daughters and Orcs. I'm running. I'm running. I tend to switch over to a machine gun, so that actually works really good to have that machine gun right there, because I tend to use sniper and machine gun on the shade when we get teleported.
Since special becomes a little bit stingy, I have that machine gun just to do some damage when I'm like, I don't have any ammo.
Yep.
So yeah,
and we're going to work tonight. After we get done doing this, we are getting you your Touch of Malice.
All right.
So
I think I have to decorate for Halloween, says my wife. We'll see.
Tell her you tell her to stop her womanly stuff and just let you be.
Let me be. I just noticed the Hawksaw that I've got a legendary,
Yeah.
the Irene
Yep.
legendary, and Quillum,
What is-
Quillum's Terminus
Oh,
legendary.
Yeah, okay.
Those are my go-to right now. But it's like, but that Monte Carlo though, but that.
Well, see, that's the good thing is unless you're not going to use a Monte Carlo in the raid. Not
I was
unless you
last
got-
night. I was
Were
doing
you
more
really?
damage because it's 310 versus my
Oh,
300
okay.
Hawksaw.
Well, then, yeah, that's fine. But you're using a legendary machine gun,
Mm-hmm.
a legendary sniper, so that's your choice. That's your option to use that exotic primary.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. Well, then that's like, okay, what should I infuse? And if I get something, I sit on it because I don't want to mess up. That's my conundrum these days. So that's my whole point. It's just like, well, if I get something,
Well,
what
if
should
you
it go
if you
into?
like your Hawksaw, you should infuse your Hawksaw.
I probably should, but 290. I'm sitting at a 290 Hawk Moon, which I don't use a lot because it is 290. I would
Yeah.
use it if it was 3 something. So I don't know if anybody else is going through that problem, but it's like, dang, they're rare to get whenever you start boosting everything up.
I'm gonna tell you
That-
what you need to infuse.
What's that?
You bought
Irene?
you bought the Mercy, right? The near
I-
whatever's Mercy.
I don't think so.
The pulse rifle from Iron Banner.
Oh, yeah. I
Uh,
threw it in the vault, forgot what it was called.
Infuse that. That's what you
See?
need to infuse.
I've got another gun I've got to juggle around.
No, that gun, because we have said that we are going for trials when it comes out. We're going to try to play it. So that's what that's what you will probably be using in trials because it was that powerful.
I probably just need to drop some crap into whatever weapon and just play on.
Yeah.
Make things too complicated. We'll see. I've got a lot of stuff to move around. I've got 2 other characters to start.
Yep.
They'll probably take some of these weapons that are just filling my pockets, and I don't have to worry about them again.
Yep.
That might save my mind a little bit of distress too.
That's what I'm doing right now. Is I'm actually working on my hunter stuff as we record.
I think I'm reaching that point where I was like, I'm not going to focus on the other characters yet because I'm still doing so much with my main. But
Right.
now, after going through King's Fall several times and getting some good drops, I think I'm 305 now. And now I'm kind of coming to a slow point. Once I do the raid, once I do the Nightfall, I'm done. And I do that on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Or not, yeah. So, and I've got the rest of the week to do something with probably my knight and my knight, my Titan, and the hunter. So I guess I'm nearing that point.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll probably spread the joy around and
It's
and
good.
relax a
It's
little
good to have multiple characters again.
So speaking of that, the King's Fall raid was really great, and the more times I play it, the better I like it. But now, like for some reason, it took me a while to understand some of these things. Probably because there were so many people talking and not getting really where they were referencing, and I didn't really watch any videos of what people were doing, which
Right.
probably could have explained better. Because I would have seen different point of views where people were talking about. It just took me a while to catch on that. Now after doing it and seeing it and running different parts, don't be afraid of doing Relic like a lot of people were in Vault of Glass. Once you do something, you get a lot better understanding, and I love freaking Orcs fight.
I think your problem, and me and Devin talked about this. I think your problem is you try to learn the first night when we're being taught or you're being taught, you try to literally learn every single aspect of the fight all at once.
We might have talked about this on episode 14. If we are, we apologize, but I've just came across the whole part of the raid doing a lot of different parts. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, you're
Yeah,
right.
and then you're like, okay, why am I doing this? And it's just like, look, for right now, you
Right.
focus on that.
Right.
I told you one time your pedestal. I said that's your home. You stay there. You worry about that. That's it. That's all you need to worry about. Come kill ads when we say kill ads, but you stay right there.
Sarah told me the other day, she's like, you try to understand everything too much. I'm like, well, I thought we're supposed to understand stuff. Oh, well. I'm a deep thinker, I guess.
But once and then once you run it, once you get that one aspect of that down, then move on to something else. Then you start learning something else.
You're right. You're right.
And then
Hopefully-
after a couple times, you will learn the entire fight and be able to switch up whatever you need to switch up.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and just roll on with it. Today, you texted me. I don't know what time you text. What time did you text me? 4:30.
We texted you all day.
I'm talking about saying whenever you asking when we would start recording.
Oh yeah, I was try
4:30.
Yeah, 4:35.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And you know, I said I'm just starting the raid, or I'm started the raid. We're going through. I think we had been in it for maybe just a little bit. That was the smoothest run I've ever been in a raid. All six people knew exactly the entire fight, every part of it. We wiped one time right before the War Priest because a knight rolled in and killed the two of us standing on the Annihilator Totem in one swing. Let's see. We made it through War Priest first time, made it through Golgoroth first time, wiped a couple times on the witches, wiped twice on the witches just because we were not... She wouldn't turn and face us.
Yeah.
So, and this is another thing. This is another great thing I love about running more. You find new strategies every single time. Every different group you run with, there's a different strategy.
What'd you do different this time?
Okay, so the podiums that the witches are standing on.
Yeah.
All right, you know how they got the little steps to get all the way up there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go stand there with your aura and stand opposite of the one you're shooting at. You're extremely close to her, and she's looking down at you straight away. I mean, she is standing there looking straight down at you, and you only see her upper half of her body.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got pretty much nothing but criticals.
And she can't really...
Well, she don't shoot at you anyways, but, you know, you have no problem getting those critical shots on her because we've ran into it before.
I see what you mean, yeah.
She turns the opposite way, and then you're just like, well, you know, and it always happens on the second witch. It's never the first witch.
Mm-hmm.
But she turns the other way, and then you can't kill her after you've killed the first witch. But it made it easier. There's less running to do, so you've got more time to damage. But it was actually a very nice change and a lot easier to do it the way from standing right there instead of going all the way to one corner of the map and shooting behind a podium.
We'll have to try that, or I'll have to try it.
Yeah.
And then last night before, we learned a new strat or a new place to stand on the War Priest, where you jump on that little ledge underneath the left-hand side.
Right.
Stand behind that hanging stalactite, stalagmite, whatever it may be, and you can stay away from the what do they call the vision thing? The oracle. What do they call it?
The Oculus.
Oculus. That's right. And you can survive right there, and everyone tightens it up, and you can survive it without being blasted away by him. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
The rate or the time we went through that I just spoke about, we had two people who never did it before,
and it went smooth. That was one of our smoothest runs we did last night.
And well, now you're smooth when people know what they're doing, but weigh that with two people who've never done it.
Yeah.
That's even better. Not even better, but just as good.
Yeah.
We did real well with that. So
yep.
that was good and not disappointing in any way. We did lose two at the end, but
yeah, it took us a little longer than would have, than most people would prefer, because I think we were in it for 3 hours ish, something like that.
Yeah.
And a lot of that time is spent explaining the fights to the couple people that's never done it. Once you do it, it's, once you know that stuff, it's quick.
It is. So that was kind of cool. I'm glad. I like teaching people now. Well, what little I can teach, but it's pretty fun watching someone go from, I've never done this, to, oh wow, I got through the whole thing, and I got like that gigantic drop chest that
James got last night. Yep.
That's good stuff. What Sherpa train in effect.
Yes.
So
especially across the jumping puzzle.
I remember
that went for. I took me. Well, it wasn't the. I took me and one person that had never done it before, and then two others. There was 4 of us that made it across the entire first way without dying once.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was the other guy and you were pulling up the back.
Usually.
Yeah.
At least I helped somebody across as I died.
Yeah.
Like, don't do what I'm doing. That's what it turns out to be.
Don't follow me.
The next time we do raid will probably, well, not next time, but coming soon, the 23rd, which is 2 days from now, will be hard mode. I don't think we'll be ready for that. I don't see how we can get another 5 light ourselves.
Well, I mean, the raid starts at 300, goes to 310. I'm at 305.
Are we going to jump in as babies like that?
Maybe.
That's what I'm thinking.
I think we have to. I mean...
Or we'll be postponing it for a long time, probably.
Yeah, because, in all honesty, I've been getting, I get drops. I get good drops throughout the raid, but I just get, I'm not getting high light level items. So it's not, I'm at that point now to where I might get something that's just a couple points higher than something than what I have.
Mm-hmm.
But not... not enough to matter, not enough to change my actual light level. So I think hard mode is our next step. We can, at least for our mains, it's not going to be for, my secondaries because I'm actually able to run on them. But,
right.
Once you get yours up there, you'll have to get your secondaries up into that mid 300 area.
Right. I'm missing just the helmet for my warlock.
Yeah.
That's the only raid piece I'm missing.
The light bulb helmet.
And I'm sure if I keep going through it, I'm going to get my 7th pair of boots and my 15th fusion rifle.
Now, one interesting thing I did hear today is boots are the rarest item to get.
Not for this cat.
I've got 310 boots on my Titan, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
nice.
I'm in the same. If boots drop for me, they're pointless.
Right. Now, see, armor dropping like that gives me great stuff to just throw into whatever pieces of other things I need to level up, because I've got plenty to spare. Just if I could get just some kind of sniper, whatever, I could boost my sniper. I was going to tell you this, too. The last time, if I would have saved my part, you would have heard me talk about the new nickname for the Irene sniper that I love so much.
The proctologist.
The proctologist, because all it is proc, and it'll tear you a new asshole. It's wonderful. Like, every time I shoot that freaking gun, it's luck in the chamber. Not bugged, it's just really good, but I'm happy with it. But whatever will drop, can help it, but, I've got that spindle to get to. So, anyway. Let's get down to some meat and taters.
I like meat and taters.
I do, too. Let's talk about the Eververse. You've heard everyone else's opinion, and it's time for ours, because we've discussed this outside of the show, not just like, let's talk about it on a podcast, but this is some serious discussion we've had.
Yeah. And that's because you got a strange opinion about it.
You call it strange, really?
I call it strange because we'll get to that in a minute.
This podcast is over, I quit.
Huh?
As this podcast is over, I quit. No, I don't find it strange.
Okay.
Go ahead, set it up.
The Eververse is supposed to fund the live team that provides us free content throughout the year. And supposedly we're not getting DLCs like normal. So we're going to get trickled in content throughout the year. That's great. That's awesome. That means I don't have to spend an extra $40 on this game, throughout the year and go to a yearly game. I like that idea if it's going to stay that way. So it's something that, that to me is a great, it's a great source of revenue for them as long as it stays the way it is. We said it during that lost episode. Everybody said it all last week or past 2 weeks. It's a very slippery slope. If they start going into selling consumables, that's when it's going to become a problem.
Mm-hmm.
As long as it stays cosmetic, I don't think anybody's going to have a problem with it. And, that's my opinion on it. I think it's great. I love doing the Carlton on people. My female hunter, blows a kiss at everybody she sees because she's a little slut. But it's great. The emotes are great. They bring a lot to the game in that nonverbal communication with just random people.
which usually turn out to be just random dance fests
Yeah,
or
that was it. That was pretty
or
much
crying. Yeah. Well, okay. Okay. What did you? We were given 400 silver.
it. We were given 400 silver, and this is why I think you have a strange opinion. What have you bought with your 400 silver?
Not a dang thing, and I'm not gonna buy anything with it.
That's why I think you got a strange opinion. You've got free money
Well, that's
you
just like
can't use anywhere else in game.
Okay, that's true.
So why would you not purchase a couple free emotes?
If a guy walks up to you and says, "I'll give you this little bit of crack for free," why would you not take it?
It's not crack though.
Yeah, well, tell me this isn't crack to us.
Okay. Here, if this
I'm
guy
just
walked
using this as
up and said, "Here, I'll give you $40 for that. I just got off of selling this crack. Do you want it?" I say, "Yeah, sure. It's $40."
Right.
They're not giving us drugs. You know, it's your own willpower to not spend past that 400 silver.
Okay, so here we go. It would cost us $45 to buy every single emote in that group.
Now, is that including bonus silver and the 400 silver that they gave us?
If you just, I don't know if the math is included in that. I think you'll still be left with extra.
Did you figure this out, or is this something you read?
Well, if everything is $3 a piece minus the
$2.
$5.
$2.
Okay, are they? I don't have my notes in front of me. Are they 16, 13 of them?
I'm flying into the tower now, so we can do this math.
So,
go ahead.
Okay, well, so my whole point is, if we have this free stuff, and it is going to be used, I guess we're skirting around it. It's going to be used to promote the game from inside and nothing else good.
Right.
But I don't want to be the person who just jumps in with it and ends up with, now we're selling XP, now we're selling... I'm not really worried about the weapons. I don't think Destiny's going to become play to win.
Right.
But I don't want to be involved in some other kind of scheme where, well, you've already been doing this, now just buy that too. That's that slope. I don't want to ski.
But that's fine. I get that. You don't want to ski, you don't want to get on that slope.
Yep.
But you're not on that slope if you spend the 400 free silver they gave you.
I feel like I'm just indulging in the whole thing they're getting to get us to do it. Well, you like these two, you like this, whatever you bought, just have another one. Oh, it's only a couple bucks. That's what it boils down
Well,
to.
yeah, I mean, that's the genius behind the marketing of them giving you 400 silver. Because the Carlton and the Slow Clap, the two big ones, are 500 silver. So
that's not genius.
No, that's genius for them to give you 400.
That's bullshit marketing.
It's genius marketing from a business standpoint.
I'll give you that.
It is bullshit marketing from a consumer standpoint, but really, is it really bullshit? Because, I mean, you kind of got to expect it. They're a business. They're going to make money. They're not here for us. They're here for themselves.
Right.
We purchase it. So it's genius for them to say, okay, here's 400 silver, and, oh, here's these two really cool emotes that will cost you 500 silver. But you can't just buy 100 silver. You got to spend $5.
It's the Microsoft point. Yep,
and if you want both of them, you still don't have enough with the free silver they gave you, so you got to spend $10. But then you get to buy other ones.
That's interesting, arguing on both sides, because that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
But that's fine. That's fine. But it's Microsoft points. It's fair tickets. 80 points equals $1. You're always going to end up with some change. This ride is 5 tickets. No, not 5. This ride is 6 tickets. In 10, I got to buy 10. I have 4 left. I need 2 more. Go buy more. You're still left with change you can't do anything with, which keeps the cycle going. I don't like that. That's cool. It's just my opinion. If you guys do, that's cool. But here it is, the slippery slope. Now, I don't like to swear. We put some stuff in there like this, but I'm about to drop a bomb. There are kids listening. Hit pause.
Earmuffs
right now. Here's the buffer, the silence buffer. Here we go. They've got the tip in, and anytime you got the tip in, you're about to get fucked. That's what's happening. I feel that. I feel that way.
All right, so here's your math you want to add up.
Okay.
There are 1, 2, 3, 9, 6, 7, 8, or 9, 10, 11, 12,
18,
13, 14, 15, 16, 200 silver
emotes. 14. How many?
9, 12, 16.
16. Okay.
16 200 silver emotes.
Okay, and then two
500 ones.
That's 4,200 silver then.
Okay, that's 4,200 silver. So it would take you $40 to purchase every one of them.
$40. Okay.
$40, and you would still have a couple, 200-ish, 300-ish silver left over. Because you get, if you buy them in bundles, if you buy them 500 at a time, you're going to spend, whatever you said, $48.
45.
45, yeah.
Okay, so I can also go back and say I jumped in and spent $20, kind of, for the Legendary Edition, or Collector's Edition, whatever, for Taken King.
Yep.
But I countered that with trading in my my vanilla Destiny disc to GameStop for $21. So I kind of got them for free. But I'm still skirting around the issue of I kind of bought them. The trust issue is it Activision? Is it Bungie? Bungie says it's just going to be for support for new stuff. And now I feel like an ass if I don't have to. Okay, if it's just going to be support for new stuff we're going to be given yearly, and this will pay for everything.
Right.
Dang, I don't have to spend any money on anything to get free stuff. Now, being a Destiny fan who does a podcast,
that kind of makes you feel shitty inside, doesn't it?
A little bit. It does. So now,
because now you're just sitting here like, y'all get money off everybody else. I ain't spending a dollar. I ain't even spending the free dollars you gave me.
I don't want to be that way. I bought the Nepal relief shirt and shader. I bought it for the shader too, so I've kind of done that. But I don't know. I guess I've been skirting around it, and I'm still involved in it in a certain way. But Nepal's for a good cause, and I only wear that shader really.
So then what's your problem with? I mean, that's a microtransaction. It was surrounded by a charity event. It's a microtransaction. You bought something in game and a physical object for X amount of money.
Right.
Would you have bought just the shirt for $25?
Hell no. I make T-shirts. I'm not buying a T-shirt.
Okay. So you essentially just bought a shader and emblem for $25.
Damn it. It was actually $32.
Okay. 25 plus what? Shipping, I guess $7 shipping?
I don't remember that.
Whatever. Oh, $25, $30. But you have a problem spending 200 silver that they gave you for free?
400 silver.
400 silver that they gave you? Well, I mean, you got a problem spending 200 either, anyways.
If I would have hit save on my file, you guys would have heard me get talked into buying something.
You didn't even get talked into buying. You got talked into the idea of buying something that there may be something out there that you would purchase.
And I texted you afterwards saying,
and you're like, I feel bad.
I feel bad for giving in because I bought that. I ate it.
But are you about to give in again?
Is it coming? Told you.
Why
is it every time I get in this conversation, I come in this conversation, I'm not buying anything?
Because I am proving you wrong in every aspect of this argument that you don't even want to spend the free money they gave you.
I came in saying, I'm not supporting this whatsoever. I'm not spending $400. I'm going to let that $400 sit there, and I'm going to be cool. But if shaders are going to be sold, I'm more into a shader than an emote.
Than an emote. Okay, so that's the point of the argument we got to last week is it's just not. You don't want to spend that money. You just don't want to buy what they're selling right now.
Okay, we're back at this point again. I'm a failure. I didn't stand my ground. Well, I'm not saying I've done it yet either. I'm just saying, it's the same thing you said. Whatever they're offering is my problem. But I don't want to. I'm a failure. That's all
It's not a bad thing to purchase something in a video game. You've already done it.
I mean, how? What do you mean?
You bought a shader for $30.
Oh, within this game. I was like, yeah, DLC, $8 here, $10
not DLC.
There.
I'm not talking DLC.
Sure. I'm saying buying other things in games, but you're saying like a
like a microtransaction. Yeah, not a. I don't know what you call DLC because it's kind of a microtransaction, but it's really not. It's
a macro transaction.
Yeah, It's a big microtransaction.
I've never spent money like that for anything.
I
Ever.
haven't either. I
Good
never
deal.
have,
Yeah.
but I dropped.
Other than.
I dropped $12 or something because I bought the $20 package and I had a little bit sitting on my console.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not shamed one bit. I will Carlton all over anybody they want, standing in the tower and trying to sync up people that I'm not even in a party with of doing the Carlton. And it's great to me. And what affected me in that decision of saying, yes, if they, whatever they bring out, if I like it, I'm going to buy it. I don't care. Was the fact of I did not get the digital collector's edition.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing the dances, except the Warlock one.
Awful.
I want those dances, but they're not worth $20 to me. So I'm not going to go purchase it. I could go purchase it today if I wanted to, but I'm not going to purchase that because it's not worth $20 to me for 3 dances.
Right.
The class item means absolutely nothing to me, especially now. But, that, to me, I would see everybody doing those dances, and I'm like, damn it, man, I wish I'd have bought that when it was, when it was there. But now it's really not worth it to me, so it's just like, okay, well, then they bring out this new emotes thing, and I was like, I'm definitely going to have something in this.
So, Destiny emotes, are they hot or are they balls?
They're hot.
They're hot.
I asked you this question, and I'm going to ask you again because I want this to catch traction, and I want it to happen, even though it never will. A little bit of licensing issues here. I'm saying I would drop, since we know the pricing of these emotes now, I would drop $10 on this emote. I want to walk up to you anywhere, in game, or any. I don't know if you can do it with an enemy, or it's probably not even possible. But in my fantasy emote head, that I want to walk up to anything in the game, push left on the D-pad, and I want my Guardian to drop his gun, hold up both middle fingers, flick them off, kick him in the gut, give him a stunner, and then talk trash to them while they're on the ground, while they're crawling around on the ground, shaking their head back and forth.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I want that to happen. It never will, but I can dream, and I will pay 10. I would, if that probably come out, I just about would say I would pay $20 for that emote.
Would you pay 50?
No, I would not pay 50. Hell no.
Okay, so you have a price.
Yes, I have a price, but $20 is getting really, really high. $10
really
for
low.
sure. Yes, I would, because it would be so intricate and a 5 to 10 second long emote every time you do it. It's worth more than a $5 Carlton dance that's on a loop. A 2-second dance on a loop. That's intricate, especially if you could do it to anybody. Because could you imagine cashing in an Ingram and getting a 290 Ingram when you're light level 320 plus, and then you giving a stunner to the Cryptarch? Do you know how great that would be?
He would get it all day long. They'd probably have to start some kind of meta counter. How many times he's been stunned? Because he would take it all day long.
It would be awesome.
And probably the game would be stuck at the tower.
Yeah, there would be so many people in the tower just stunning the hell out of the Cryptarch for the whole past year of screwing us over.
If you're talking about elaborateness, if you're going to talk about more involvedness to it, maybe I can think about it. And I feel, I don't feel right about it.
I feel accomplished again.
Well,
we're
torn.
We're
torn. But I don't feel right about it doing that. I don't feel right about spending more money if it's going to be proven that we're helping the game. Yes.
Okay.
So
I'm not saying right now. I'm saying if you let's say I finally peer pressure you into spending the 400 silver that you've gotten for free.
I'll be offline for a week dealing with it.
That's fine. You'll get back on when the reset happens, and we'll run the raid again. But if I finally talk you into spending, and you sit at 0 silver for a year, 2 years, and we've gone 2 years at an annual game release, no DLC, and stuff constantly dropping throughout those 2 years. So it is all but verbally proven by Bungie that these microtransactions are a great thing for this game. And, that's what's funding the stuff we're getting to do throughout the entire year. And we're paying $60 in the fall, and that's it. If you buy whatever they come out with, some emote shaders, whatever, 2 years down the road, would you feel as bad about spending that money then?
If it stays that way, it's not pay to win. If it's not some other boosting, get what someone else had got, but you don't have time to earn it, probably feel okay. And if there's transparency, I hate that word because of politics. If there's transparency such as that, I'll feel like I have not supported the game I've been playing.
So if they come out and say next fall at Destiny 2, and they come out a few weeks before and say, okay, look, here's Eververse has made us $2 million.
Right.
Thank you for your support. This is what it did. It gave you this quest, this quest, this quest, this mission, this mission, this quest, this quest. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, that's right.
So that's what you would want to see before you spend any of your money, not free money they give you, but before you spend any money on it.
I believe that would make me feel better about it.
And it also has to be something you want. You've got to find something you like. I know you're not just going to go buy an emote just because they did what they said they were going to do, so I'll just go buy this emote even though I really don't like it.
Right.
It's got to be something you want.
Now, I'll just do the math real quick. For $2 million at $40 a piece, that would take 50,000 people.
Okay, how many people play this game?
That seems very possible to do.
Yeah, and
they can do a lot with that.
Yeah, and it may be that they've made more than $2 million already.
Yeah, they're a money-making company anyway. They're not like in the hole.
Well, I'm saying Eververse, solely off of Eververse, not whatever else. I don't even want to begin how they continue to make money on a game that we have already purchased once. I know there's something they're gonna spend money, they're gonna make money, but I'm saying just solely the Eververse side of the microtransactions, I'm curious of how much it's already made. And we may never know this unless it's going to become public record because
that should be,
they're a publicly traded company, maybe. Or maybe it's Activision that's the publicly traded company. I don't know if Bungie is.
You'd probably have to get into a conference call if you were an investor to find that kind of stuff out.
Right. But it's curious. I mean, with 20 million people playing or whatever the hell the numbers are.
10 million, I don't know.
10 million people, that's how much money does each person have to spend? $2? Is that right? No, that's 20 million. Each person spends $2? No, that's not right.
They're crowdsourcing, and,
right?
And I don't even like that really. So I mean, I'm not stemming from just. I think I said last time, but you didn't hear it because I didn't hit save. I'm hard selling anything.
Yep.
You don't sell me. I decide to buy it. That's
cheap
me.
ass.
I'm not cheap. I'm not cheap at all. I find value. I search that value, and I say I'll take it. It's not cheap. It's not being cheap at all. This is over. I'm quitting. I'm not cheap.
Look, I can be cheap at the same time. Frugal and cheap's the same thing.
I don't think so. Cheap is whatever. I'm not going to argue this point. If there is some kind of transparency, if there is a certain way to prove this is what it's made, okay, but still, like I said, you're crowdsourcing, and so many people go on these sites to beg for money, and so many people who are gigantic businesses, that we're getting into big consumerism here, or capitalism, who are big companies use people who buy their items to buy something they can just go do because they're a gigantic money profiting company instead of paying for it themselves. Consumers are now being used to pay for something that the other people could go ahead and just buy and make because they have the funds for it to save them money. I know they're supposed to make money. I'm a business person too, but the whole thing reeks of bleh to me. I haven't figured out what it really is. If you guys are listening and can understand where I'm coming from, it's just something. I haven't put it really to words. It's just something that doesn't feel right about it. So my goal would be to be the only person who's played for all these years
and never spent a dime.
Let's say in the future, and I've got my original 400 silver in the bank. That's my goal, honestly.
So you want to mooch?
See, I don't want to do that. I'll buy a T-shirt from the store or something. I'll buy that. What can I buy? I don't know what I can buy. Let's go
I
to the bungee
want
store.
the Ingram squishy balls.
The what?
The stress balls. They got Ingram stress balls.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're $20 for all four. You get red, or not red, but green, blue, purple, and exotic, or the yellow, for $20. And I kind of want them, but I just ain't spent the money yet.
That's pretty cool.
I think it's pretty cool.
I'm looking through their store. I see them now. Oh, they're sold out too. Those are hot items.
Yeah.
There's a blue, green, yellow. That's cool. I wonder if you get only one exotic.
No.
All they have is clothes.
They give you one of each.
Oh, look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
What?
I'm at the bungee store. Okay, so I said I'd make T-shirts. Of course, there's a bunch of T-shirts that I can make my own. Buy the original soundtrack, and you get a bungee store exclusive code for the Undying Light in-game emblem.
That's pretty cool.
I didn't know that.
That's pretty cool.
See, I might be doing that, and it doesn't look like the same kind of sales tactic. But I don't know, man. I'm just hard sell. That's all there is to it.
So you'll buy a CD you'll never listen to for an emblem, but you won't spend 200 or 400 free silver they give you on an emote.
Let's just say it right now. At 7:56 p.m. on October 21st, 2015, I am a ridiculous martyr. Let's just say it. So anyway, I don't know. Let's see what they give us later. Maybe I'll jump in. Anybody who's on the Bungie team who would maybe listen to this, I'm not a mooch. I don't want to try to do that. I want to support you somehow. But
just got to make something he wants.
That's probably what it is. So I'll take private messages of what you can do, and I'll be sending that silver over to you probably. And then I'll sound like a wishy-washy, can't make a decision kind of guy probably. I'm still torn. Whatever. So that's our Eververse discussion that we missed last week, and it went the same way pretty much.
Yeah, actually, I think it went a little better my way this week.
I don't know. But that's our main topics for tonight. Anything else we need to throw in?
They changed Nightfalls.
And you got paid something harsh off that, didn't you?
I got 19 strange coins, which... if I'd have got that before year 2, I'd have said, what the hell, I don't need any strange coins, but, now that the 3 of coins gamble is up and not being able to get 27 of them every week doing your heroics, the weekly heroics, 19 strange coins is pretty damn nice. I kind of like it. But I wished I'd have got an exotic over that. But it gives me the ability to go buy a bunch of 3 coins.
Yeah.
So
I ended up getting a legendary, which was okay, cool. But I'll just infuse something with it.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to go farther in these Nightfalls and see the rewards rain down upon us like they used to be, because they're supposed to have been fixed.
Now, one thing I have a problem with, and a lot of other people have a problem with. I am fiending for weapon parts.
Maybe you can spend some silver on something.
I would love to.
I don't like you at all.
Only because I'm hurting that much for them. But I really probably... well, I can't say I wouldn't, because I probably would.
Real money for weapon parts.
I mean, it would be in the heat of the moment trying to level up
You're a whore. You are a whore.
Don't judge me. I'm just saying, if I got one thing that I'd been looking for a long-ass time, and then it's, oh shit, I've got to level it up to do something tonight, then I may. Probably not, but, I'm a lot of talk when it comes to that, but I'm hurting for weapon parts, and Bungie nerfs us being able to get weapon parts.
What have you done to just bust through all those?
Well, I accidentally traded in 150 of them to Dead Orbit.
Wow.
To rank up at the very beginning of Taken King.
Gotcha.
I didn't realize how many it was taking until I hit the button about 5 or 6 times because I was thinking it was taking 5 or 10.
Gotcha.
So that took a lot of them, but I didn't come into taking king with that many. I think I only had 300-ish, something like that.
Mm-hmm. That's insane.
And I'm down to nothing. I mean, I've got it actually. I did after today was the first time I'd ran King's Fall on my hunter, or all the way through. I ran orcs only, but I ran it all the way through today. And I got the quest for the Touch of Malice, which is going to be really nice because that'll give me some nice infusion fuel. Because I don't need 2 of them, or I don't need 3 of them. I'm going to have one that I'll just transfer between them. And that'll be a nice 310 that I'll probably use to bring up my scout rifle all the way up to 310. Since it doesn't seem like one's ever going to drop for me.
Hey, pay $10. I'll rank up that weapon for you.
No,
$10.
no, I will not do that.
$10, man.
I
It's
will
just
not
$10.
do that.
Okay,
that's
okay,
that's like paying $10 for somebody to take me to the lighthouse.
You good?
Won't do
You
that
good?
either.
Okay, you're good. Okay. Continue.
But I've got 50. I should have 50 weapon parts now, which was actually surprising, because I also did the imprecation quest that you'll be a little behind on, but it gives you the first curse, which is the opposite of the last word.
Right.
You have to. It gives you a 200 white hand cannon, and it says you have to infuse it, and it doesn't tell you how high you have to infuse it. It just says infuse weapon, and little did I know there's a node inside there that when you go high enough, you unlock that node.
I hear you playing in the background, by the way.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm kind of getting a little distracted here because I'm trying to get my thoughts up. I did. Everything I seen online was 260. 260 is where you got to get it to. Well, I got it to 260. I checked the quest. It didn't check off, and I'm like, what the hell? So I was like, well, and I did it in 2 infusions. I was like, well, maybe it's a number of infusions and not so much how high you have to get it. So I was like, I did it again. I put a 265 into it, and I looked, still wasn't done. And I didn't know about the node at the time. Like, I didn't pay attention. I pulled a Chris. I did not pay attention. I didn't know about that node, and I was up to a 265, I think. And then I was like, well, I've got a 287 here. I'll just dump that 287 into it. So it pulled all the way up to a 275. And it still didn't go, and I'm like, okay, something's going on here. And I look.
Hey, $5. $5 I'll unlock this quest for you, man.
Yeah.
Just $5.
I look online,
You're a dirty
and it's
whore.
like.
You do it.
What?
You're a dirty whore. You would do it.
No,
pay
I
$5
would
for a
not.
quest. You just said yes.
No, I did not.
We got a problem.
You're
got
a
dirty
problem.
back alley Walmart whore. Anyway.
I started looking online, and that's when I found out about that node. And I wasted 20 weapon parts today, and I was like, this sucks. I just wasted 20 weapon parts, and they're so hard to come by. And it's just
weapon part deficit is real.
Oh, remember the heavy ammo drought of of year 1, 2014? Well, now we're in weapon parts drought of 2015 into 2016.
That's funny. Run some strikes. Do
this game favors me armor.
Oh yeah. I've got so many runes I need to use just to clear space. I've got like 35 reciprocal, 5, maybe 3.
It's a great way to do.
Antiquated.
It's a great way to get weapon parts. I was running last night when we were waiting on you to get back from Walmart or whatever.
Yeah.
I was running Court of Orcs with James, and we were just running left and right, and I got so much stuff, but a lot of it was armor.
Dang. Well, I'm gonna spend mine on you because I want you to have those parts, so you don't go spend real money.
I'm not gonna spend money on weapon parts.
I think you would. You said you would.
I said I would in the heat of the moment if it had to be done that night. And I still probably wouldn't.
Ooh.
And
dirty.
I probably wouldn't. Call me dirty all you want.
Nasty, throbbing, pirate-legged whore. Anyway, so you're on the slope. You want to snowboard or skis? Or
No, I don't. I don't want to get on that slope. I don't want that to happen.
We're going on the Black Diamond, son.
I do not
Backwards.
want that to happen. I do not want the game to turn into that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I just learned something new while we're sitting here playing. The Shrieker room that we all hate in the Dark Blade Strike, you can run through it and despawn everything, but I don't know if I'm going to make it out of the room. Yeah, I did. Yeah, you can run through it and just bypass that whole room. That's kind of nice.
I've always wondered, but those guys at the door make me say, nah, I'm not going to go that far.
Yeah, so you make it through the door, it despawns everything inside the room except the Shriekers.
Hey, $2. $2, I'll despawn everything in the room for you. $2, just $2. That's what's coming. That's what's coming.
It's
I don't
not.
feel that way. I don't feel that way.
Yeah.
Triple D was saying he feels like it's going to be year 2 exotics. We're still hung on this freaking Eververse thing. I'll let it go. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Not really. Anyway, so yeah, there's all kinds of stuff that this damn Eververse thing could do, but I trust Bungie enough, but I still want to see. I'm not going to get married to them yet. I'm not going to live with them. I'm going to watch them. I'm going to date them. So we'll see.
Right.
Anyway. Anything else I need to discuss? I think we might need to come to a close here.
Yeah, I think we're pretty good.
All right. Not one thing we mentioned that you didn't hear because I didn't press save last time. We've been having some random people ask to join our clan, and that's absolutely fine. Bring it on if you're interested in joining into a clan. Now, there's really 5 of us that play regularly. We're not a big group. We started just for the achievement, I believe you mentioned last time.
Yep, that's what we started it for.
Because we were achievement whoring. But we've been getting random requests. We don't know if they're coming from this show or they just like the name and they're trying to be famous. But hey, send requests on. The name of our clan is Warsat Radio Podcast.
Yep.
And we've had 4 or 5 people join the past week just randomly, and we're trying to get up with everybody. But I find when you add new people to your friends list and everyone has their own friends, it's hard to really communicate and get a group going. So if you've joined, if you want to join, do so. We'll contact you, say, hey, what do you need to do? Because we're all about helping and getting a group. We wouldn't mind a solid group to always raid with because there's always 3 of us and we have a +3 of someone else.
Right.
But anybody to roll through Iron Banner would be great with.
Yep.
Or just new friends if you need someone else to fill the group you're in. So Warsat Radio Podcast, find us on the app, the Destiny app, and ask for an invite. I about said insert you. That sounds kind of gross. We'll accept you, and we'll get a gamer tag from you and go from there. But feel free to join.
Yeah, and send us a message, too. Don't be afraid to, there's communication there for, for a reason that we never use because, the people that are in it are friends in real life. They're not just internet friends, and we got much easier ways of communicating than the Bungie app. Or
right.
than the clan, the clan app. But yeah, I mean, if that's, if you're joining in and just, just joining us because you listen to us or whatever, if you need help doing something, send us a message. We'll get up and try to get things done.
We always need 2 more, 1 more, 3 more, and we'd be happy to have you. But do that if you wish. We're always on Twitter. We haven't been tweeting a lot lately.
No, we haven't been tweeting a lot at all.
The reason we've been slow getting shows out just because life is on our shoulders like typical human beings have to deal with. So feel free to tweet us at Warsat Radio. We had a couple new people say, hey, what's up? Appreciate the show. And that's what we need to hear because if we're not doing the right thing, we want to make it something you guys want to listen to. And that's just an easy way to contact us if you're on Twitter.
Yep.
And we try to put a little bit of news up there, but really it's just a fun place to put funny stuff we find and talk to the people we do know, like the effing monkey.
Yep.
And like Chris from Australia. Shout out to both you guys again. Well, I'm going to hit Y, go to orbit. And this will be the end of our show for episode 16. Cobra out.
Goodbye.
Bye. That was the nerdiest ending I've ever had. I'm gonna cut that out. No, you're a whore.